Greetings, Guardians, and welcome to the Voice of the Vanguard. Today I have with me Sully from Sully Games. Say hello, Sully.
Hello, Guardians.
And today we have Season of the Worthy has come out.
Yay,
And
for some people.
Oh my god, boy, this has been the most disastrous launch I think they've had in my experience for some DLC.
Maybe. No, I think Black Armory was probably worse. I'm not. I guess I wasn't really around, but I know a lot of people were really upset that they couldn't really do anything because they weren't at the power level for it.
Yeah, day one that was happening. Yeah, sure.
So, but I mean, I don't know how it went like shortly after because I was kind of out of Destiny at that time.
Yeah, so. I don't know. Like, I tried to do the Forge when it came out, got my ass handed to me, and then I just put, I need to level up some, so I did that, and I wasn't on the beat like I was now, or I am now.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't testify to how the Reddit user base is or the fan reaction was, but man. It was like a couple hours after Worthy came out, and just Reddit was on fire, dude.
I mean, that's typically kind of how Reddit is. I think, in my opinion, is like I'll wait a little bit for Reddit to kind of clear out, because there's definitely a lot of like anger and salt on Reddit.
Yeah.
But for like a lot of the people I follow on Twitter. Like, a lot of my people I follow on Twitter, they're all kind of, like, enjoying it. Like, there's a few people that are, like, aren't necessarily pleased with it as of right now. But for the most part, people are really kind of excited because a lot of people say it feels more like an MMO now.
It does.
And I completely agree with them. So, yeah. I'm interested to see kind of like how the season continues to advance throughout the stuff, but like the very short amount of time, because I didn't get to play any yesterday because I was busy. But when I played on Tuesday, man, I was having fun. I was really enjoying Crucible at the time, and I mean, if you are a fan of ARs, right now is the time to hop into Crucible because ARs are insane right now. Like Suros, absolutely wrecks. Hardlight is pretty good.
Hardlight is probably broken.
Is it broken?
I don't know.
When I played Tuesday,
everyone like running Hardlight, it's absolutely broken because of the ricochet rounds. Plus, like there's again stability is like off the charts for that thing now because of the screen shake, which that's a good fix, but. Also, there's no damage fall off.
Oh, yeah.
So, you're going to hit consistent numbers no matter where you are.
But I didn't really run into that issue on Tuesday. Suros was wrecking me pretty well, which, I mean, it's cool. Like, I'm happy to see ARs are relevant again.
As a guy that runs ARs, or used to run ARs all the time, I'm pretty happy about it.
But I mean, overall, like for the most part, I was enjoying it. I said I do agree. I think it definitely feels more like an MMO, which makes me happy. But I think we'll kind of get into like maybe a later discussion later on down the road to see on how Bungie could potentially fix some of these issues, and it kind of goes back. We kind of talked about this, and I'm very, very pleased with it. Is on how simple the roadmap is. Yeah. But at the same time, everybody's thinking, like, what the hell do we have to do? And I do think Bungie has some nice surprises coming to us in the next upcoming weeks.
Yeah, there's nothing on the roadmap for next week, but I don't know, I assume there's going to be something.
Yeah, I think we'll get like a nice surprise, not next week, but the week after. So
yeah. So let me just say that I've actually been enjoying the season so far. I like the activity they have in place. It's kind of like an escalation protocol, but it all takes place in
yeah,
the same area. And there's
and
more to
like
it than just shoot guys and stand on plates. You have to throw balls at stuff, and you have to you have to have a little bit of strategy when you're taking out the marauders. Like you have to make sure they're not on the plate. So you want to
yeah,
have someone stand back and like take a look at the plate, make sure it's cleared, while you have everyone else shooting at the guys
and,
coming in.
and it's funny because I think I've actually played this almost more than I did the Sundial.
Oh yeah, like I've probably already done way more of these in the Sundown.
Like there is a lot of well, not like just on Twitter because I have stayed basically away from Reddit. Um, I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on there not being like a Sundial slash Vex offensive, which honestly, like, I'm happy with because like they were kind of boring anyways,
Yeah,
and I do feel like this is like, for one, you can do it constantly. You don't have to
and
worry about going back to orbit
mm,
and then hopping back in. Like you literally, you finish up, you stay there. All right, let's restart this bad boy up again.
yeah,
Like,
like it's just way faster.
yeah. I don't know how rewards on it for it that,
Um,
but
well, there's two chests that you get. There's one where you use a key to open the
yeah,
Rasputin chest. I don't know what they're called, but it's a cache. And for those you get, I think you get gear and also mods, the new seasonal mods.
okay,
Which I've seen people post videos on like about them. They seem pretty good. Essentially, it
okay.
spawns a ball and you shoot the ball and it blows up and it does a whole bunch of damage.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I have yet to test it out myself. I don't have any of the weapons or anything, so
So I was really happy about that, and I've seen a lot of people kind of actually complain that there isn't ritual weapons to grind for, and I am, other than the Iron Banner ritual weapon we will be receiving whenever Iron Banner rolls around, but like
yeah,
I am so happy that we do not have ritual weapons to grind for. Like that was
yeah,
just forcing you to use a weapon in a game mode, like, which I mean, for PvE, like whatever, like it's not that big of a deal. For Gambit, like forcing you to like maybe get shotgun kills can be kind of a big deal. Like, is one, it's a shotgun, and then two, like if you're trying to like win, like
yeah.
that kind of affects like your loadout, and especially Crucible when it like forces you to like use a weapon that like you don't enjoy and like you have to like.
Yeah, like who had fun using linear fusion rifles last season?
Hey, Arbalist was lit. Okay, don't be hating on
Oh
Arbalist,
my
but no,
god! When you load into a Crucible match and all it is just Arbalist,
you hear that charge.
chunk. It's like,
Yeah,
oh my god, dude, you killed me.
but I was really pleased that we did, and I had a feeling because I even asked that on last podcast, asking about if we thought that there was going to be ritual weapons because I didn't see that on the roadmap, and I had a
Yeah, they
feeling that
usually
we were.
do. Yeah, you're right.
I had a feeling that we weren't going to be seeing them, other than, unfortunately, we got the Iron Banner one, but that was actually supposed to be in last season, but for some reason, they pushed it back.
I don't mind if they take like, a break, like have one every other season, because like I think ritual weapons are still fun to do, but like having them every single season, that's like what, like 5 or 4.
I hope they just completely remove them.
I still like having them, but
just because if they're gonna eliminate like legendary weapons at a point to like a cap, like I don't want to like grind for this weapon and then maybe not be able to use it. But
yeah, I still think it's still good to have a legendary weapon that's unique to itself rather than just getting a rampage feeding frenzy roll. Like I think it's
yeah, I mean I agree with you, like, because well, actually I don't know if I've used any of the ritual weapons.
What do you mean?
Because there's a difference between pinnacle and ritual.
Come on, man! Like they're the same. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing.
No.
Yes. They're just not as overpowered as the pinnacles were, but
exactly.
it's still the exact same thing. You do the activity, you do all these quest steps in that certain activity using a certain weapon to get a more powerful weapon. It's the same concept.
I mean, it is, but like, maybe Randy's has been probably the most efficient one, but like, what ritual pinnacle weapons have you used?
I usually use exit strategy was one. What was it now? The Python's actually pretty fun to use. It's kind of just like a good roll shotgun though. But whatever.
Okay.
What else was there? The Edgewise is kind of good if you need to use a solar weapon for. I actually use that on.
You already said Edgewise.
I didn't say Edgewise. I didn't say Edgewise.
Wait,
I said exit strategy.
Oh, exit strategy.
Yeah. Edgewise was really useful for nightmare hunts, like 980 nightmare hunts back last season.
Edgewise is nice because it's a solar. I don't know if there's another solar heavy machine gun though.
There is. It's
Avalanche maybe.
Avalanche, yeah.
Okay.
But this one shoots faster, so it's more useful.
I haven't used the only 21's really good, but like 21 is a pain in the ass to get.
That was a pinnacle.
But you just said rituals and pinnacles are basically the same thing.
Yeah, that's my point. You're making my point for me.
But like, that was like other than I used 21, and then depending on what I'm doing, I might use recluse, and that's it. Like, other than like. So I don't really like why force people to like grind for these weapons, and then especially now because probably that weapon legendary effect's gonna probably go into next September. So like why force people to grind out these weapons to then not be able to use them come September?
Because you'll use them for like a year and a half.
I feel like they'll be all capped out this September. I think only the new weapons will be able to rise.
They said they give them the shelf life of a year and a half, so
I think that will be the next season's, or not next season, the next year's weapons will start that life cycle.
Yeah, but they should still have rituals or pinnacles or whatever you want to call them coming September. They should still have some or it's like some way to get legendary weapons that are unique to themselves.
Yeah, as I said, I would not be surprised if we do not see rituals and pinnacles again.
Hey man, you've been right about this stuff. I'm just saying what I want.
But I'm like I've said it from the very beginning.
Yeah,
was pinnacles was the biggest mistake Destiny did, and I'm talking like OG pinnacles, like when Recluse was stupid OP.
Recluse was king.
Same thing with Mountaintop. Mountaintop's probably the dumbest gun they've ever introduced into like Destiny.
Back when auto reload was a thing.
I'm not even just talking like PvE wise. Like I'm talking like to balance out even PvP.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
it's just a single-handed rocket launcher.
Yeah, like and that uses kinetic ammo. So like
special.
Is it special?
Yeah, Fighting Lion uses kinetic.
Okay, that's Fighting Lion. But at least Fighting Lion's an exotic. You know, but you see what my point is, though. Like, So like they had these, and I feel like when they went from pinnacle to ritual weapons, the ritual weapons are still like good, but they're not as good as the pinnacle weapons. In terms of like, they're still like maybe just above like legendaries that are like not god roll type things.
Mm-hmm.
And I could just honestly, I could see them just for the balancing sake, just be like, nope, no more rituals and no more pinnacles for like weapons like that. Like everything's gonna be based off of RNG, I think, from here on out. Other than this bow that we're gonna be receiving, I'm assuming it's the bow for Iron Banner.
Yeah, I think that's what they've said it was. Yeah, but I also wanted to go over some of the things people have been saying about this season and why it's bad. So, and this might be more ancillary stuff.
Okay.
But first off, I want to say the UI design, like redesign, was amazing.
It was.
I'm really happy with it. It's really good these days. But let's get into the complaints. So emblem stats, they just completely erased. Well, not completely erased, but they removed them on each of the emblems along with the glows. So you can't wear your glow anymore, which kind of sucks.
Okay. Which I'm actually really happy that they removed the stats on emblems. Other than like, I guess like
I like that you can toggle them, but they shouldn't have removed like.
I mean, I can understand like maybe certain stats, like maybe like
the cookies. Like I can't display how many cookies I made. Like remember, like I would jump into the thing, and you're like, "Holy shit, Kane! You made 740 cookies!" Like.
Yeah, that like I can like maybe there should have been like an option to like turn it on or off and like
exactly. Yeah.
But like were like a lot of like really cool like emblems that I really like, but it's like a really stupid stat, and I'm just like, I don't want this stat on here. Like, let me turn it off.
I don't want to
like,
display the fact that I have a 30% win rate in Crucible. Come on.
Yeah. But it's a really cool emblem. I want to rock this emblem, but dude, it makes me look like a freaking noob.
Apparently the gold medals has also been wiped. Like you can't display how many gold medals you've gotten, which really sucks as well. Which I agree. Like they should have kept those stats, but just be able to toggle on and off. It's fine.
Yeah.
Some people are really upset about grinding bounties, which I don't know. What do you have to say?
I mean, I've been watching like a few of your like Final Fantasy. Is it 14? Did I get that right? Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
And I was watching you stream a little bit like before I hopped on Tuesday, and like just kind of like it definitely has that like feel of an MMO where you just do like a bunch of just random repetitive things to eventually get something a little bit more stronger and do that more repetitive times. And I was like, I mean, like watching it, and I was just like, dude, this definitely feels more like an MMO now. Which obviously we do know that Bungie has confirmed that Destiny is an action RPG MMO. So I am really interesting to see on how they like translate this game into being an MMO. Personally, I don't really have the issue for the bounty grind. Like, my issue right now in terms of it that we don't know in terms of in-game PvE. That's like my only issue so far with the season because we don't really know anything about the Grandmaster Nightfall. But if the Grandmaster Nightfall happens to be completely awesome, like, okay, this is awesome. Like, so, and this is literally, we are what, day 3 of this season?
Yep.
So I guess let's kind of see what they introduce later on. Like right now it could be just kind of a bounty grind just to kind of help us get our power up. Unlocks a few things so that the next thing won't be as challenging. Like as I mentioned earlier, when they introduce Black Armory DLC and literally day 1 nobody could do anything.
Yeah,
because everyone was underpowered. So maybe they're trying to like slowly introduce people into like the more challenging things that we see later on.
Yeah, this was not Black Armory where day 1 you couldn't do the new stuff. You could do it. It's a little bit challenging, but you can do it. For sure. Like people were doing like in our clan, they were doing the legendary lost sectors and completing those, and they completed their weekly bounties easily. But it's not it's probably not soloable. Like I tried and I got to the champion and I only had kinetic ammo, but if I planned it I probably would have been able to solo it. Um, and the fact that when you upgrade your bunker, you'll be able to get the War Mine bits from doing just strikes and Crucible and Gambit. So I think once people have those upgrades, they won't complain so much about the bounties.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think once people get up, definitely get some things upgraded, and then we have more of bits in our resources. I think will be people kind of lay off the bounty hate a little bit.
Yeah. Again, a couple other things that we already talked about, like the power level grind, and like you have to level up to complete the new activities, which is not true. It's just completely not true. You could have done it from day one.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do want to note is that there's been a lot of bugs with this one, like with every single Destiny season release. So specifically the PC version, when you're closing out Destiny, it takes a while for it to close. You don't know if it's going to close or not. It just sits there. There's been frame rate issues, like it won't save your frame rate from when you logged in previously.
Yep.
So
that was a known issue for Shadowkeep, wasn't it? I believe.
I think it was, and then they fixed it. So, yeah. And I've been having a lot of Beaver connection issues recently. Same with a lot of people in our clan. Some people have said they've cleared their Steam cache, and that's fixed it. So,
yeah, there might be some workarounds. That might be because of the network change that they made for trials or for the DDoSing that might be causing that.
Yeah, the port forwarding stuff.
Yeah. So I wonder if that has an issue.
So I just want to bring those to attention because there's been a lot of talk about that. Is there anything else I missed, or is that it?
You had, if we're looking at the topics that you brought in, you had the emblem stats, the bounty grind, the power level, then it's need to play old content to level, need to level to complete any of the new activities.
Yeah, I kind of grouped all those.
Yeah, together, and then lots of bugs.
Yeah. So that's it.
But I'd be interested in what would you rather see? Would you rather see them say we get the new big expansion, probably I'm gonna assume Shadowkeep size, maybe, hopefully Forsaken size.
Oh yeah, I hope it's a Forsaken size.
Would you rather see seasons like we're getting now? Or would you rather get 2 DLCs similar to like Curse of Osiris and Warmind?
I'd rather see 2 DLCs.
Okay.
Personally, because I like having more content to play through and not have to wait for unlocks. If they're gonna do that, at least have that to be like unexpected. And also maybe just like little seasonal things here and there to like keep it interesting while you're playing.
Like live events, like
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of with you with that. I'm hoping that's something that we do see, I think, after we get the new big expansion. Because I also kind of feel like it would be less stress on the dev team to do that, because it seems like every time they do, and we talked about this previously too, whenever they had like an update or they introduced something new into the game, it like literally broke Destiny. Like there was a time where Destiny was literally down for like pretty much 10 hours because it stole all of our inventory.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. And so I'm interested to see if maybe going back to more of the DLC thingy would be better for them for like being less stress. Also, it would eliminate one thing, but also add a negative. Shocker. All the content would basically be available at launch. That being said, since stuff really isn't being staggered out, people are going to finish that content in a week and then they're going to be bored. So that's what I'm asking kind of our community. Would you rather be able to do all the content in a week, or would you rather have it being staggered out? Now, granted, most likely if we're getting a DLC, I would assume we're getting some type of raid with it.
Yeah, I'd assume like one raid or raid layer.
Yeah, which a raid layer would be alright too. I'd be alright with the raid layer.
It's fine.
Or even a dungeon.
And maybe like 2 strikes.
I would say probably raid layer and 2 strikes. Yeah, and I think even at this point you could do 2 new Crucible maps, and then you could bring back a map since they kind of keep adding and taking away.
Yeah.
That rotation of how they're doing things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm right there with you too. I would rather see them go back to having the DLC format, and I think it would eliminate kind of just because it definitely seems like people are kind of already bored with this season, and we're in day 3.
Yeah,
so like,
yep.
So I would rather kind of see all the content be up front. I feel also too that would be easier on the developing team because they wouldn't be forced to put out an update every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe the servers would be less stressed. I guess that's probably better.
Yeah. I feel like going into next year, I'm already thinking about the next year. They said they're going to focus on core activities. I feel like they're going to have this really huge overhaul update for like Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit and raids. And then they're not going to do anything new for next year content. They're just going to focus on building that stuff up. And people are going to complain there's nothing new. So
yeah,
I'm already expecting a backlash for next year.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's always going to be
a
backlash, I feel like. And as I said, like, we don't really know what the end game for PvE is quite yet in this season. I mean, we kind of do, I guess, with the Grandmaster Nightfall, but we don't really know anything about it. Maybe we get a new strike. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I said to you that I feel like there's going to be a divide between casuals and hardcores. People that want the loot easily and up front, and people that like having the long grind.
And I prefer the long grind, in my opinion.
Yeah, same here. But we also play this game like nearly every day, so.
And that is true. That is true.
All right, so let's get into TWAB then.
TWAB.
This week at Bungie, it was actually early today. I was really surprised.
It was. Well, Cosmo wrote it, so that's why. He wasn't dreaming about bread.
Yeah, so before we embark on the first 12 of the new season, I'd like to acknowledge some feedback we've been seeing in the wild. We had a large change to emblems and stat trackers, which we'll be talking about later in the 12. We'll also be seeing some discussion on new weapons of the season, the lack of ritual weapons, Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit. Team is currently reviewing and discussing the feedback. We'll be looking forward to talk about our goals for weapons in the future. There are a variety of other topics from Eververse to armor mods, which we're collecting feedback and discussing internally as a team. While we don't have specific changes to announce at this time, we'd like to make sure you know that we see the feedback and are actively discussing this internally. Once we have more information, we'll be sure to let you know.
And I think they have kind of... Definitely, we have seen that they're doing a really good job taking our feedback, because obviously with the whole trials thing, being able to fix that basically
all the new updates
right away.
That they released changelog. I'm not going to read through it because it's so incredibly goddamn long. I still haven't read through the whole thing. But it was insane.
So I definitely think that they're definitely listening. There isn't like, oh, Bungie doesn't care about this game. They just want our money. They're not listening. They're definitely listening.
People that are saying that just like are so out of touch. They just don't know how the world works. Like, I don't know.
How does the world work, Kane?
Yeah. Been a wild wild launch week. Just getting started. Tomorrow's Friday. So Zur and Trials returns. So Trials returns. In case you still haven't heard, Trials of Osiris returns this season. First weekend of action-packed high-stakes PvP starts tomorrow. Let's set the mood, shall we? I wonder how many people don't know Trials is returning, and like tomorrow they'll be like, Oh shit, Trials is back.
What is this?
I would love to meet that person.
Yes, same. I know it's nobody in our clan, or at least our Discord.
Right. So for everyone not familiar with Trials of Osiris, here's a quick rundown of what to expect. Game is 3v3 elimination. Same rules showcased in the last few seasons. Key difference is that Saint 14 will be calling the matches. Now your power matters. You must be 960 power to participate. Your Trials passage or card is your ticket in. Try to get as many wins as possible before you hit the 3 losses and have to start over. Earn a flawless victory by winning 7 matches with no losses. You can reset your Trials passage at any time by assessing the item in your quests or on the Trials of Osiris activity node. One change from the previous Trials of Osiris is that there are no boons that you will need to purchase and apply. Instead, there will be 5 different Trials passages that you could choose from that offer different bonuses built in, like forgiving 1 loss per run or granting bonus experience from wins that increase with the number of wins on a ticket. Players will also be able to earn Trials tokens to turn into Saint 14 to increase their reputation and earn Trials engrams. Any tokens that a player doesn't spend that week will be removed when Trials ends at the next weekly reset. So spend them if you got them.
I kind of like that. Like, it's kind of like a love and a hate because you can't like necessarily like hoard your tokens.
Yeah, I've got like 5,000 Crucible tokens that just have no reason to spend.
So I'm assuming then your rep will stay the same.
For Trials?
Yeah, when you're turning in your tokens.
I don't know.
Because once if you're like halfway there towards, so I wonder if it like resets. Probably not. I'm assuming not. If they're just, they would have probably.
I think they're just removing the tokens. I don't think they're gonna remove rep.
Okay.
We have more details on features of Trials of Osiris. We're working on Trials of Osiris help article. We'll match you with opponents based on your connections and how many wins you have logged on your current passage. To submit yourselves to these trials, you must form your own fire team.
Okay.
They already have. I clicked on form your own fire team and I clicked on it, and it's like all trials, 990 plus 1.5 KD going flawless. Anyways,
let me see. I'm gonna click this Trials clan.
It's just people LFGing.
That's awesome. Oh, there's only like 6 of them.
So B and I don't know what this is. In preparation for Trials of Osiris, our security team has been. Oh, I guess it's banned. B and. I didn't get that until just now.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow, that's a bad joke. Our security team has been hard at work protecting the integrity of the Crucible. We're always working to improve our defenses against cheats and other malicious activities. Recently improved our methods for combating those who feel like they don't have to play by the rules. We will be keeping a close eye on Trials of Osiris, where the stakes are even higher. New server-side security features have been deployed specifically for Trials of Osiris. And we hardened our network layer to make sure more resilient to network manipulation. Also increased our staffing to be able to handle the review and banning of cheaters. Because of the ongoing battle with cheating is fought primarily with information, we can't go into exact details on our methods, which might tip off would-be cheaters on new ways to get around the system. Assure we are taking cheating seriously, and will continue to work on both prevent it and punish any offenders.
And I think they did a good move prior to this with the whole switching up the networking thing. So like it's harder to be DDoSed because you can still be DDoSed under this, but it's a little bit more difficult. So it's good to see them doing some stuff.
Yeah, so tractor tracking. Season of the Worthy, all emblems have been converted to use our new stat trackers. This means all emblems will be inspectable and have trackers equipped or not. When designing the system, our overall goal is to provide players more ways and options to show off their accomplishments. Our first selection of stats were determined by prioritizing stats that represented a skill that could be improved week over week, season over season, and be an accomplishment that players would want to display that was meaningful to other players. Because of that, some stats that couldn't be completed or improved any longer weren't included. We believe in these requirements in principle, but strictly applying them retroactively unfairly removed your ability to show off your accomplishments that you could have flaunt seasons prior. It was a change made with good intention, but was the wrong way to roll out the new system. We've identified some stats that can be added back in the future and wanted to share them with you. We are currently planning to add these stat trackers back in an update later in the season. So seasons, lifetime.
Fractaline. Awesome.
Yeah. So season 8, season pass rank earned. Season 9, season pass rank earned. Fractaline donated, which was a big one. Because that's the most recent thing. And so you want to flaunt off how much you've donated in the past. So account, lifetime, kills, of Sentinel, Titan, Striker Titan, Sunbreaker Titan, basically all the subclasses.
Basically all subclass kills.
Crucible, lifetime, gold medals earned, which we talked about earlier.
Yep.
Longest glory win streak and total valor resets. Destinations, lifetime, Pit of Heresy solo flawless completions. Very nice. It's not a complete list, and we plan to add to it before the update is released. As a note, none of the stats were previously tracked have been lost. We're still storing them all. Some stats would take a bit more work to return to the fold, and we'd love to see more player feedback to help us prioritize which ones you want to see in return to the future. Feel free to sound off in the Bungie forums. Which emblem stats did you find most valuable and why?
Cookies baked.
Cookies baked, yep. Mm-hmm. That's probably the only one that I know off the top of my head. Because people talked about it.
No, I mean, as we talked about it earlier, like, I felt like this was kind of handled kind of weird. But it's kind of good to see that, once again, the community really complained. And I do kind of agree with the community on this. With,
this
like,
is a totally valid one. 100%.
Yeah, like, I don't understand on why there wasn't just the option to, like, turn it on or off. I feel like that might have been easier. I don't know. Video game development, I don't know.
They
Coding.
just revamped it and they just didn't do the check, maybe, or something.
Maybe. But I'm glad that we're seeing a lot of the big ones back. Honestly, I could care less about, honestly, the kills as just, like, as a subclass one, like, because there's a few of, like, the emblems that I thought looked really cool, but I never run that subclass, so I had really low kills. I'm just like, do I really want to show this off?
Yeah.
But it's good to see that they're coming back for the people that do care about those stats. So, GG's.
Yeah, so the stat that I'm currently showing off was, it was my my triumph score, but I decided to go with a bigger number and go with total kills. That's nearly 700,000, and I just picked it because it's the bigger number. I want to trade someone's game and go, what the fuck were you doing? Oh, okay.
Kane over here stealing everybody's kills.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
So new season brings new things to do and new things to learn. Player support team has info. So this is the report. Main quest and characters. Players have been asking how they acquire seasonal quests on their alternate characters. Only one character can unlock the EDZ bunker, but once they complete the Raising Our Defenses quest by purchasing an EDZ bunker upgrade, all characters can acquire the Seraph Warsat Network quest from Rasputin. Destination port update. We've updated port forwarding section in our network troubleshooting guide. PC
Which
player.
we talked about.
Yeah. Beaver and Mongoose errors, empty Seraph towers, inability to join fire teams, maybe to update their UDP, destination ports.
There you go.
Website code of conduct update. So player support community, Bungie.net teams have been working closely together to update their code of conduct, help foster a friendlier, more welcoming environment. Along with the update, we've created an explanation article that provides more thorough definition of each article or each rule. Did you read that or no?
I did not.
Okay. I remember seeing that, but I just didn't read it. So known issues. While we continue to investigate various known issues, here's a list of the latest issues that are reported to us. So swapping energy on a fully masterworked and modded armor piece will incorrectly show that it can no longer be upgraded. If this occurs, please exit and re-enter the details screen. The planetary material auto collection bunker upgrade is not ordering the correct number of planetary resources. ADZ Seraph bunker upgrade tier 1 requires completing challenges from Zavala, Shax, and Drifter, Banshee 44, or Hawthorne. Interacting with the statue of Shur Ido in the Shattered Throne may cause crashes, so rip anyone trying to get their Wish Ender.
Bring back Wish Ender.
Faction rally ornaments cannot be applied to respective class items. We're investigating crash issues occurring in Gambit for players on PS4 and Steam. And if you didn't hear about that one, that was if someone got a level up, it would just end the game.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you would lose. Like if it was on your team, I think you'd win, and if it was on the other team, you'd lose. Yeah, it's broken. We're investigating crash, but if you want to get your Crucible bounties, like just completing matches done, or your challenge for the week, that's the easy way to do it.
Yeah.
We're also investigating the Word of Dawn ability for Coda the Protector Void Titans is not generating 3 orbs of light on activation. Virtuous Greaves Titan Ornament lost its glow effect. And that's it.
Beautiful.
And I think that's it for the TWAB.
Yeah, just a bunch of thingies for trials. So my question is, I wonder who the first Guardians to go flawless on Stadia will be.
Stadia?
Yeah. I feel like that would probably be the easiest way right now to go flawless.
Well, it depends on who you're fighting, right? Like, if everyone has that idea and goes over there, you're going to have a tough time.
Okay. Not everybody. Dude, people are going to be like, they're not even going to think about going over Stadia. Not the first week. Maybe later on, but not the first week.
Yeah, considering that you still have to buy the Founders Edition, right? To get on there?
I have no clue. To me, Stadia is dead. It's an option, though.
Yeah.
If you really want to go flawless, I'll be doing Stadia carries.
I'm looking forward to reading our Discord tomorrow and seeing people just go, like, flaunt their flawless or whatever they're doing. I think Ninja's going to really try for it.
Yeah, I'm interested. I don't know who I'm going to team up with tomorrow when it goes live.
Alright, so speaking of our Discord...
You trying to play tomorrow?
Probably when I get home from work, and then...
Well, yeah.
And then I have a podcast after
that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's right. You got the podcast. You got a big podcast this weekend.
Yeah. So let's see here. Questions for the podcast.
I know. Was it Everdote?
Yeah, so Everdote had a few questions here. He asked if this is if this new season is a sign of content quality decline from Bungie. He says he's not on board with the shit season train, but it does seem like Bungie's new content seems to be grindier and rehashes the stuff we've seen before. Which I agree with. I think it's like ever since Menagerie, it's kind of just been their fallback and just like retool. Like everything's just been a retool Menagerie. This is probably the furthest from that kind of thing.
I was just about to say, like, realistically, like, we don't have a Menagerie activity.
It's more of an EP.
So, but we also, I mean, it is more of like an escalation protocol. Which sometimes, I mean, because basically you could basically say the same thing with every raid. Like, it's the same concept. Oh, it's just another vault of glass. As I said, we talked about it earlier. I do really like the new, like, Warmind thing that they introduced this season. I'm happy we didn't get another Menagerie, like, retool thing that we're going to be probably losing at the end of the season anyways. Once again, we're 3 days into the season, so who knows on what content we still have left, because they were definitely very quiet with this roadmap, which I really loved, but now I haven't really necessarily questioned anything yet about this season, just because one, we're 3 days now. If we get into like mid-April and we really don't have anything, then I'm gonna be okay. Like, because at that time, April 12th is the new Grandmaster Nightfall.
It says April 21st.
Oh, is it April 21st? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If the Grandmaster Nightfall, I was thinking the 12th. I had those numbers.
Yeah.
Reversed.
So they pretty much don't have anything for next week, and then from the 24th to the 21st, it's like nothing. But
that we know of.
Right. Exactly.
So if it comes to the Grandmaster Nightfall and we really haven't received anything, cool. Like if we get wouldn't be surprised if we get like a mission or two in between there.
Yeah, we'll probably end up getting Iron Banner at some point.
Yeah.
Like an exotic quest steps, like exotic quests.
Yep. Because we were supposed to get 3 exotic weapons, I believe. Is that what it says on the roadmap?
I think so.
And we've already gotten 1, obviously.
Yeah, the Tommy gun. Which, by the way, do you like the Tommy gun?
It's all right. Like I don't like it necessarily in PvP right now. Like I want to kind of like mess around with it a little bit more, just because like when you do take that little bit of damage when using it, like you become very like it's already bad enough you have like other skilled players shooting at you. So I want to kind of mess around with it a little bit more.
And you have to fire it from the hip to not get as much damage.
Yep. I want to mess around with it a little bit in PvE just to kind of see, like, is this really worth taking into PvP? Because when I was using it in PvP, like, it was doing pretty good damage to people. But it's just one of those things to where, like, I don't really want something giving me damage.
Yeah.
When other people are doing damage to me.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, if you're gonna use that gun, you might as well have an exotic on that gives you health back or an overshield or something.
Yeah. Trying to think, because I kind of bounced around Everdope's question a little bit. Is this because of Activision's breakup? I think their biggest issue with the breakup with Activision is probably quality of life for optimizing on PC. I think that really hurt them the most.
Sure.
In my opinion.
I do think it's because they did leave Activision just because they had those support studios as well that helped out.
Yeah.
Like if they still had those support if they still had those support studios, we probably would have had like 1 or 2 raids by this point.
Yeah.
Probably one more.
Yeah, I would probably say 1. I think this was the season that we would have gotten the raid. I don't think we'll see a raid until September.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But as I said, we are 3 days into the season. I do kind of want to see down the road on what we're going to get. I do think we are going to get at least 1 really nice surprise, if not 2. And I'll even say the surprise will be kind of like the Grandmaster. I think that could be something that they could, like, even though we know about it, I think it could be, like, really rewarding for us. Because we know absolutely really nothing about that other than Grandmaster Nightfall, and it's, 1060?
Also, there's, like, a lot of people, like, glitching into rooms they're not supposed to be in yet, and there's, like, puzzle rooms that people are finding.
But I saw something about somewhere on the moon.
Yeah,
I don't know how true that
Moon,
but...
Io. Those have bunkers.
So
another thing is that there's a couple like clues hidden inside the EDZ bunker. Like people found binary that just translates to like questions, pretty much, just like why, who, what, where, when, how. Which that probably means nothing, but you never know, right?
Yeah.
So there's also like when you go into the bunker, you see like a schematic of the solar system, and you see that the like Neptune and Uranus have been blacked out along with the Kuiper Belt, and then there's something beyond the Kuiper Belt, so that's also been blacked out. So it might be a hint to something about that. Yeah. Just some interesting stuff that's just out there.
Yeah, as I said, I'm pretty optimistic with what we have potentially coming in our way, even though we know literally really nothing. Because we just know out of the big things, we know Grandmaster, Nightfall, Guardian games, and there was what was the other thing?
I think it was just another bunker.
Was it another bunker? Okay.
Yeah, the IO bunker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and more, and then that's pretty much it. Like obviously, the N word refers to something else that we don't know about, and that's the thing that we're gonna try and find out.
So my hopes are, I think, and I've been saying this for a few weeks now, that we are going to get a Whisper / Outbreak mission this season.
That'd be fun.
I don't know what the gun is, what it's going to be for. It might be something absolutely insane, like Gallahorn, or it might be something.
Do you still have hopes for Gallahorn this season?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
Right. I'm not confirming or putting money, but it could also be something like Patience and Time. Could be the weapon. But I do think we will be receiving some type of secret mission this season. And it would actually be a secret, unlike Quarters of Time, which would have been fantastic if the Destiny community actually didn't know about Bastion and that we were receiving it the week after we solved the puzzle. So as said, for everybody that listens into our Discord community, I give it a little bit of time. If you aren't necessarily completely hooked on this season, I recommend, occasionally logging on, just because a lot of us are going to be playing Trials and you're going to want the extra help in Trials with the power. But at the same time, this could be a good time to catch up on some other games too.
Yeah.
At this point, if you aren't really digging this bounty grind.
Yeah. But that's it. That's it for the episode today. Sully, where can people find you?
You can find me at Twitch, Mixer, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Sully__games.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also find me here at charshot.com for audio, video, and written content. Check out the other podcasts that I do, the Charshot Gamescast, where we talk about video games and the coronavirus.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of talk.
Also, you can email me, thomas@charshot.com. Please visit our Discord if you want to be part of our clan. Just let us know and get you in there. And until then, guys, eyes down, Guardians.